What's going on, 221? The third draft, or the second draft really, is over. Good job, everybody, getting through the offseason so quick, man. That was really good. Really impressive. I mean, playing games, I understand people have lives and people have jobs and people have families, man. But when guys are willing to stay up for one night, two nights, stay up past their, normal times and knock it out, it just makes everybody keep on playing hard. I appreciate that, man. That's really good. I know all the administrators appreciate that. So, but anyway, this is about Geronimo 22 and the Buccaneers, and we're going to talk about this draft. Before I go into my interviews and talk about what happened in the draft for me, I have to do a little bit of housekeeping, whatever it's called. So I made a big mistake. I ended up changing my defensive tackle, Vita, right? And I changed one of his abilities, which is something that's funny because I wanted to do this last season. And I just thought it was too cheesy, to be honest with you. And I totally forgot. I got all these rules in my brain, and this is not the first time I've actually forgot mentally that, hey, if a guy already has two abilities out the box, which we started late, but out the box mean the first, the first time we opened up the game, first time we started this season, this league, which if you ever want to go back, just go back and find the start a new franchise and open up the playoff, the week of the playoffs. That's pretty much when we started this. It was around week 18. So just open up that one and you can see what all the original development was and everybody, all that good stuff. So I totally forgot that if you have a guy who is already set, Vita Vea was a superstar. He had this stuff already. I don't think he was a X Factor. I think he got that later on, but still, he had, these two abilities already set. So this one here was El Toro. That's what he had, out the box. Unfortunately, I made the switch and now I can't get back to it. So I'm going to try to reset it to the way it was. And I'm going to show this on video so nobody thinks I'm trying to BS the league or do anything crazy, because that's not my style. A lot of things are going on in the commissioner's room, admin room. And I was asking them, should I just, give myself some BS ability like unfakeable or something like that, something, I don't even know which ones are really bad, secure-tacular, something like that, and just eat it. But I'm going to put him back to El Toro because I feel like that's what he was, and it can happen. I think it's just logical. I can do it. So a little bit of manipulation I got to do real quick. I got to get his power rush number to 90, which right now it is at 89. So I'm just going to up it up and then I'm going to bring it back down. So this is full transparency here. I'm not trying to do anything crazy. So if you see the reports, please don't say anything crazy that I'm trying to cheat or anything like that. I'm actually just trying to make this right. And then I'm going to give myself a strike. I'll let the admin, I guess, make the decision on how many games I'm going to be out. And it's going to be Via Vea, which is crazy because he's my best defensive player. So I'm going to give myself a strike, and he's going to be out probably multiple games to start the season. So, woohoo! That's what's going to happen. All right. So anyway, let me just get this done. Everybody else we approved for ability changes was fine. I went through and made sure that I didn't make any mistakes with that, and that I was fine with that. So everybody else was a guy that either gained an ability because their overall went past 85 or they got it in development. So all that good stuff. All right, we got power moves here, 85. Let's just up it up to 90 so I don't have to do this more than once. Oh, I can actually see it pop up. Good. Power rusher, whatever. I'm going to bring it back down to 85 here in a second. So I'm making the change, right? And then I'm going to go here, Vita Vea. Oh, it's been a long night, so hopefully I don't do nothing crazy here. All right, anyway, this should be inside stuff. El Toro's open, so I'm going to give it to him, right? Because that's what he had. He already had BOGO. That was his thing. All right, oops. All right, so that should close that. Let's go back to Vita Vea. And let's get him back to where he was. This shouldn't change his abilities from what I understand. All right, so that's the Vita change. Let's get this done. All right, power. Let's get it back down to 85. All right, and that should take care of it. Let's take a look at this. Hopefully I'm smart enough to get this done the right way without it funking out on me. All right, so he's back to what he was. El Toro, Bogo. All right, those are his two things. He earned that X Factor, I'm pretty sure, in the first season, and everything is set. So he's back to what he was. All right, but I will still take the penalty, even though I'm a dumbass and gave myself my own ability. So, all right, so that's that part. So that's done. Now I'm gonna do some roster stuff, and admin. The one thing I think we really do a good job of. We trust each other in the admin office. There's no shadiness, and everybody knows we play honest because all three of us want to be, stand-up guys. So, we can make changes without really showing you the video of the changes. But sometimes I know, especially like Shadow Tactics, he'll show the video of what he's doing, so everybody knows he's not like making other changes. But the great thing about Neon is that Neon does a really good job. And if you look in our server, we have a whole setup at the bottom. Shadow Tactics did this, where if you look at the game day media, underneath the stream channel, we have injury reports, we have position change reports, and we have Madden reports. And those reports are run every time we update the companion app. And what that does, it tells you all the changes that happen. So that change I just did right now is going to come up in the Madden reports, and it's going to say that he went up to 90 power move, his ability changed, and then it's going to show everything. So there's no you can't make a move. I can't jump in here and say, hey, I'm going to change my quarterback's dev, or I'm going to change his number, and then I'm going to sneak in a change on his attributes. You can't do that because it's going to show up. If anybody's looking at it, it's all there. The records are there. So we don't really need to make these videos, but I'm going to do it because I already started one. I wanted to show that Vita stuff, so I got to make some changes here in my offense. So from the draft, we had a first round pick. We ended up getting a second round pick because we traded Mike Evans. We had to because we couldn't afford him. He cost $30 million. Either if I signed him, re-signed him, which he didn't want to come back, so I couldn't really do it, and I wasn't going to give him some stupid 7-year deal. So what we did is we franchise tagged him, which was $29 million, $30 million. Woof. And then we traded him. Now, I'll tell a little story with that, man. That was funny because I had a trade in line with the Lions. Oh, no, it was somebody else. I forgot who it was. Actually, I think it was with Mose, right? Yeah, with Mose Feared. I had a trade set up with him. And it fell through because he didn't have enough money to afford him last year. So then I had another trade set up with the Vikings, the old Vikings owner, Joker from STE. Anybody knows what STE is, another league. He said in the offseason, yeah, we're going to make this move. I want him. He ended up not coming back. So I'm sitting here now with pretty much a 2-day offseason trying to figure out what am I going to do with this guy. I didn't want him. Look, I don't mind letting players walk into free agency, but because I had a principle that I had this guy lined up for 2 trades and they both fell through, I had to get something for him. So thank God his overall dropped to 87, even though he's still an X Factor. It kind of justified the move that I did make. So we made a move. We got a second round pick, Jaguars, and then we got the Lions, right? Yeah, the new Lions owner. I'm sorry. And then we got DJ Shark. So we're gonna see how that goes. Shark may not even start for me. I'm gonna look at that right now. So looking at my wide receiver depth right now, Godwin is the man. We know that he's gonna play all over the field. I gotta make sure I don't throw him the ball too much. This kid right here, Marco Giles, I really could have played him a lot more last year, but he's a pretty good athlete. He's one of these guys that's like the playmaker archetype, because he can look at his change of direction, 93, 85 juke move. You know what I'm saying? He's a good athlete. Doesn't have all the great route running, but he can be a slot receiver. I kind of call him, being a 49ers fan in real life that I am, he's like my fake Debo. He's my low budget Debo, So I want to play this guy. So that was within the plans. Gage could have been a player for a lot of people. He's a good little player, has decent speed. I just never really used him that much, but he's not bad. You know, this isn't a bad player. He's another good athlete. Let me look at his change of direction. I mean, he's good. He's good. He's not great. He's a good, solid receiver. I feel like you can get a Gage anywhere off the free agency market, though, right? So Shark is here. I could use Shark as in my offense. I love to have on the left side of the screen a big body receiver. So I could start him at that spot. I can leave Godwin at the Z for me. The Z receiver is my right receiver. He's the one that goes in motion. He's the one that's in the slot. He's the one that does a lot of things, and that's a good spot for Godwin. And then when I go to my 3 receiver package, I can bring in the youngster. So I'm probably going to head towards that and go from there. I only have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 receivers. So we're good. Now, we didn't have a lot of cap space. We had really... At first, I was going to try to go with the route of just getting some real BS free agents. And then I thought about it, hey, let's get some rookies in here that aren't that good, but they're cheap. So I ended up having 9 draft picks this draft. So I'll just kind of quickly go through it because some of them are hidden dev. And we'll talk about that because we actually took off the hidden dev. We made it so that they're going to stay hidden when you look on Neon. And if you try to be real slick, you try to be slick Rick and try to go update the old my Madden server. Don't waste your time, Primo. Don't waste your time, Primo. Because I changed it on that too. So you're not going to know what your guys are. So I feel like that's going to be a little bit exciting. I think it makes it a little bit better. I don't know. It is what it is, right? But anyway, I'll go through each position. I won't spend a lot of time because my team isn't that exciting. I kind of have the same team from last year, but White's going to be the new starter this year. I got rid of Fournette. He was just costing a little bit too much money. He wasn't getting no burn. And I got these 2 backup, basically, running backs. Now, one of them is hidden. I doubt that he's worth anything. I know he's probably going to be a star. He doesn't have a whole lot of great traits besides maybe he has 99 injury, so whatever. Again, I had to go through and pick up bodies, and I only had 1 running back. So this is another body, right? I'm pretty sure he's pretty much trash, right? So that's just what it is, right? Coco Crisp, right? All right, then fullback-wise, all right, Beck is here. He's probably still going to start this year. I don't know. A lot of things, if you ever watch any of my stuff from 220, I kind of have some house rules that I'm kind of become loose on a little bit. But usually when I have a guy in the starting position like this, Beck is 72. Usually in order for somebody to kind of take his spot, McGraw, the rookie, would need to be at least 5-point differential. So he would need to be in the 60, 67 range, right? In order for him to start. But I can still kind of wait and that's how I look at it. I feel like if you have a guy with a high overall, he shouldn't be necessarily starting unless it's a situation where he's just really old or really slow and just he's on your team and he has a high overall because he's smart, but he's not an athlete. If that's the case, then yeah, I get it. But here, this is a little bit different. So I'll work this out. I might let McGraw start. This is one area because the fullback position is not like a regular, I hate to say a regular position. It's not like a primary position for me. I might let McGraw start, but we'll see how that goes. I already talked about wide receivers were set. Now, because of the tight end situation, this kind of affects the fullback situation. This rookie right here, Pierce, got in the 2nd round. This is the Lions' the first pick in the 2nd round. Actually, no, I'm sorry. This is my first pick in the 1st round. This is number 18 overall, okay? There was a whole bunch of tight ends. I had a bunch of them lined up. I didn't really want this guy because I don't like his height, but there was a lot of other guys I wanted, but they all went really early before number 18. So I just kind of didn't have this guy scouted. He had really good speed, so I took him. And he's kind of more in the old school H-back role because of his size and his ability. He's not a true tight end. So he's going to be probably playing a lot of the wing position. And I think because of this and his speed and the way his makeup is, I'm going to be a little bit more 12 personnel. You know what I'm saying? And because of that, that might kind of hurt the idea of getting this fullback some more reps. But because of my wide receiver position and, situation, I may not want to be in 11 so much. I might want to be in 12, 21. And I don't know who's going to be that next starter. It's probably going to be Godwin for sure. It's going to be a throw up between, it's going to be, Giles or Shark in 11, 12 personnel. 21 and 12 personnel. I'll figure it out. So I'm kind of talking it through as I do this video. So over here, I haven't made any changes so far. So I will make one change real quick. I will just kind of go through on Pierce, and I will change his number. I like Chris Cooley back in the day. Quiet Storm, if he's ever listening to this, he knows Chris Cooley, man. Big fan of that guy. At that time, I was a college coach, and I was coaching tight ends, and I used to always love Chris Cooley. I used to always talk about him to my players, and 47 was his number. I don't think somebody else has it, so I'll just give him something in the 40s. I like tight ends who have 40-something numbers. I feel like they're a little bit more athletic. Has to be something that kind of hits my head. That looks good. I guess we got to go with 43. That's fine. Whatever. But, we'll get him out there, change these socks up a little bit. Looks kind of real weak with the damn mid-length socks. Who rocks that anymore? Nobody. All right. So, anyway, we'll get this guy going. And since he's a first-round pick, we'll give him a visor. But we won't do... I don't believe in giving people dark visors. No, that's not that's not allowed in my team. All right. I'll give him an Oakley clear visor. Unless you're really like a freaking, you know what I'm saying? Like you are the man and you probably wear it in real life. I'll give you a dark visor. Otherwise, we ain't doing none of that. So we just changed his number. We just changed the visor up. He's part of the plans, right? Now, I didn't make any real big, actually, I did have one good pick in the O-line position, but not when it comes to the tackles. I didn't make any picks here. So just for the sake of keeping it balanced, I'm going to move Colin Deesh, I think that's how you say his name, to the other side. I'm going to move him over to right tackle. All right, because I don't have a right tackle, right? I don't have a backup right tackle. So we drafted this guy, I think in the first round last year, or maybe early second round. Good athlete, well, decent athlete, and I think this is the year I'm actually going to put him over at right tackle. I held off on it, but he got his butt whooped too much. He's a bigger body guy, not as fleet as foot, so he needs to go over there and be that strong right tackle side in my style of offense, which would fit well. Because on the right side, we have Tristan Wirfs. I'm going to move him to the left side, let him play there. I think he's still going to light up. I think his abilities are still going to work, so we should be good. All right, here we go with the left guard. This is the guy that I didn't expect to be so good, but he was, man. This was the second round. This was the second round, first pick in the second round. This kid is freaking fantastic. I mean, I know I have the +4 strength, but look at that strength and look at that foot speed. I always look at those two things. And then when it comes to his actual blocking skills, I mean, he fits my scheme, a finesse scheme. He has the finesse run. He has the finesse pass block. He's perfect, man. This is actually a really good player. Now, I don't know what his depth is. Probably going to be star. I don't think you ever get a superstar guard. But 21 years old, the future. This is worth that trade. I'll be honest with you. It's funny because I actually did want to ask the Lions for one of his guards, but I knew it would never pass. If I asked for a guard for Mike Evans, people would have laughed at me. But there was a guard that was pretty much kind of like this guy, so it actually ended up working out for me. And I got DJ Shark on top of that. So unfortunately, well, you know what? I'll take a look at this because Godecki, I think that's how you say his name, will be here, I think, next year. He has another year. And Mason I'm not a fan of him. I only brought him back because he didn't want a lot of money. So I brought him back for one more year. But next year, now I can make the transition and maybe move Godecki, I think that's how you say his name, over to that side. I don't have to worry about offensive line. Fully. Jensen's still here. He's the man. I can't believe he's a superstar. I really don't even know. What is his damn abilities? I don't even know what it is. Secure protector all day. I mean, he's not in those situations where it really matters too much, right? He's not going up against really good defensive tackles with pass rush. There's no, Warren Saps out there. This guy's been a good backup, man. I like him. I guess he's just been growing for me a little bit, or developing, I guess, on the low. This isn't a horrible player that has a backup that if somebody got hurt, I don't mind starting Hansley. Pretty good. Anyway, so we're good there. And we'll just get through the defense a little bit faster here. I don't make this a 30-minute video or my team. Nobody's going to listen to it. Anyway, Logan Hall is returning. We still have Contreras. I really like this guy. I hope he gets some development this year. He's a really good player in the 3-4 scheme. Again, I'm a 3-4. I'm based out of 3-4 because that's what the Bucs are. But I still run 4-3 defenses. So pretty much Hall and Contreras are my two interior players. When Vea is going to be out for a couple weeks, and then one of them would just rotate in when Vea comes back. But these are my interior players in the 3-4 and the 4-3, or any of my nickel or dime sets, and we're going to rock with them. So just for the sake of keeping things balanced, we're going to move Kamara. He's a backup player to the right side. I love keeping my defense, my depth chart even when it comes to when you do your practices and everything. I don't like having too many guys on one side unless I'm not trying to be cheesy. So we ended up drafting this guy, Minter. I don't know how good he is. 89 strength with my scheme, pretty good. I don't think he has any special development. But again, we were just looking for bodies just to make sure we filled out certain areas. We got Shaq over here. This would probably be his last year. I held on to him. I gave him the Fountain of Youth so he could keep on rocking out. And I ended up drafting another pass rushing guy. Actually, you know what? This guy has probably star dev, but he has hidden dev. Shocked. I think this is like a 5th round pick. Just picked him up. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. Doesn't have anything special, but he could be a star. Whatever. That's nice to have. At least if he's not going to get all the time in the world, he can develop on the bench a little bit through practice. Because I don't have to really develop Shaq anymore. Joe Tryon, man, he became a superstar for me. I just hope we can go through the whole year and get him to 85, get that second attribute. Now that we have a year 4, I'm really positive. I'm really happy that hopefully I can get him that second attribute this year. Got to keep him healthy. Backup player, Jones, all good. Our middle linebacker spot, Devin White is the man. Hopefully he gets that dev increase one day to become a superstar. He deserves it. Levante David came back. So in my setup for the year, I anticipated having to get another middle linebacker. So I had my main scout. I had all the middle linebackers scouted out. And then when it came to the end of the year, this dude wanted to come back for pretty good price. And I'm like, shoot, I'm going to give it to you. It's a bargain. $7 million for the year for a superstar player, right? An X Factor superstar player. He only has mid-zone KO right now, but he still can ball look at that. I think anybody would love to have Levante David still playing for you. So these two guys are backups. Now, we get into the corner room. This is one of the picks that I wasn't happy about that happened. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that we were going a little bit quicker in the draft. So the computer ended up taking this guy, Tolbert. I mean, he's actually not that bad with his acceleration. But, he wasn't in the plan. I didn't need any more damn corners, man, because I have Dean Davis his last year. I'm not sure how he's going to play. This is an example of a guy that he's a superstar because he got a good game against two players, good two teams. He got lucky. But the point is, he doesn't really fit in my style of offense of playing some match defense. He struggles because of his speed. Even though he has all the other attributes to play man and everything, right? And zone. So he may not end up starting this year. This might be one of the exceptions I'm going to do going into year 4 or year 3. I'm not going to maybe start this guy, which is crazy. And I guess I should put him on the trade block. Because I have Murphy Button, who can play, and I have Zion McCollum, which needs to play more. He has 2 more years left before he's probably going to become a free agent, but look at that speed, look at that acceleration. He just obviously hasn't been developing the man skills, the press skills. Big body, 6'2", 199. I mean, I probably should have started him from the very beginning, but again, going back to my house rules, he wasn't good enough. He was like 60-something, But I think this would be the year, all right? And then my safety group, right? My love and joy, my ball and chain position. Grant Delpit, he moved to free safety because he can't play strong, worked at damn. And I moved over Winfield to strong because he actually can play a little bit, but he really didn't show up like I thought he would. But that 5'9" height, man, that's tough. But at least at the starting safety positions, I have athletes who can play as that hybrid role in the quarter system. And then Taylor Rapp, he doesn't have really the speed, but he can still play in some type of role. I have to figure out what this role is. I think it's going to be playing big nickel with him out there versus 12 personnel. I think that's going to be the answer, to try to get 3 safeties on the field versus 12 personnel and get him to match up against maybe some tight ends and stuff that are the same speed as him. But I'll take a look at that. I'll come back to that. Kickers, punters don't exist in my world. So that's where we are. We actually have a full team. Next year, we didn't trade any draft picks really. We kept our draft picks early, but the new draft next year, just to talk about the league a little bit, we're going to do 2023 real life players. So all the players that were drafted this weekend are going to be available to us in the draft going into our final season. This is not normal. Don't expect this every year. I did it kind of as a gift we did it as a gift because we decided, I came up with the idea. It was my idea. I ain't gonna lie. It was my idea. But everybody agreed with it because the reason why is like, these guys are playing, we're going to be playing all the way up until July 31st, which would give us like 2 to 3 weeks off between that and the next Madden. Give these guys a little bit of fun. I feel like it'd be fun to look at the players, maybe draft the players that your team got. If you want to go and be cheesy, you can go find probably the draft class we're going to use and find out the players' values and find out what they are. So there's a good chance the first 2 rounds is going to be like all the good players are going to go. But at least you have some real names and you kind of get excited about some players, man. I think that'll be fun. Going into when we have to play Madden again next year for like it's our job with the actual players in the game. So I think that'll be a good thing for us. It'll be interesting. Real quick, any review of anything? We have the new baseline. You cannot run baseline rule. It's been banned. Just get used to it, man. I'm telling you guys, if you guys want to be around football, just get used to it. I'm not going to say no more. I don't want to get myself in trouble, but just get used to it, man. It's just, I'll say this. It's just so unrealistic when it comes to being a sim player. If you don't want to be called a sim player, that's fine. But if you want to be called a sim player, it's not good. Cineo gave a nice explanation of why it can be used, and trust me, I understand that. I've actually used it in that scenario too. Versus compression sets, maybe you want to get your guys in a better position to cover people. That's realistic, and I get it. But at the same time, too many people rely on it as a true disguise. You have against normal formations, corners aligned 10 to 15 yards inside number 1. And it's not about that they can get back and make a play on a ball thrown down the sideline, which they can. It just doesn't look good for our league. And our league is getting more exposure from 220 to 221. You got guys like myself and Child Tactics. We broadcast games. We talk on games. I get messages from people now asking about, oh, your league looks really good. I'm looking for a league like that. Can I get into your league? So I want the league to look good. You know what I'm saying? We want the league. It was our decision as an administrative group, as a front office, to look good. And this is not, a lot of people believe in this. If you look around the sim society or sim community, baseline is not allowed in like 95% of sim leagues. Call it what you want. All right? I get the advantages of it. You're not going to get beat deep on touchdowns. I don't know all this one-play touchdown stuff. Oh, who said that? Views? I don't know. Who said that? Try to one-play touchdown on me, bro, and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? I know I understand things at a higher level because I'm a coach, but I can teach people how to not get beat on one-play touchdowns because you motion a guy against regular defense. I don't even know what you're talking about. So please do it to me when we play. Do it, all right? Show me, all right? But anyway, that's the baseline. That conversation is pretty much over with. We can reevaluate it next season, but it was one of those things where, as a group, we thought it was a good idea. What else is there? So we have hidden dev on Neon Sports. You don't know what your rookies are until they get 500 snaps. So play your rookies. If you think, you might have a superstar. Sometimes superstars do come out of the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, so you never know. I can't think of anything on the top of my head. Let me take a quick look. Let me not just be a complete meathead. Let me take a look at the announcements that I made and that maybe Shadow made. All right. So Neon's full-time. I think everybody's going to like Neon. I need to learn Neon myself. I need to get used to it. I think it's going to be something that we're probably going to end up using in all leagues or in 220 as well. I think it's going to head there. All right. Where is my announcements? At this point, guys, all new guys, I'm going to try to probably DM you guys more. I'm not going to give such long-winded announcements. I'm going to make it a little bit shorter because everybody's pretty much been through a full 2 seasons now, so you guys know the rules, and you guys have been doing a great job with the rules. So I don't have to like give all these warnings and all that stuff. That's not necessary. Oh, the new trade committee. Yeah. That I want to talk about that real quick. That's really nice, man. You guys, Mos, Cineo, Views, Quiet Storm, Dre, man, you guys knocked that out the park, man. Like, you don't understand how that allowed the front office to do other things, to organize certain things. We're always there if you have a question to do something, and we need to make sure that, I'm talking to the front office guys to make sure that we veto stuff that maybe you guys might have missed because you kind of, you have a lot going on. Young guys who may not be used to this type of, making decisions, like somebody like Dre is kind of new, whatever. Just we're there to help you out. But at the same time, you guys didn't need help. I'm there. I'm watching you guys talk, and you guys are chopping it up and talking about this and that, and maybe that guy should go and he shouldn't go and all that. You guys are doing a nice job. You guys looked at people's contracts and all that good stuff. I can sit here for a long time and give you guys props. Keep it going, man. That's really wonderful. I think the one thing I really like about this idea that we decided in the front office is that it allows guys who aren't in the front office to have that influence, to have that direct influence. I mean, we're not talking about just making suggestions, which is what we need also, but this is decision making, right? You guys are in a position of leadership. You guys are in a position to make decisions. I mean, I think I've been in 220 for like 15, 20 years, however long it's been running, and I just got a little bit of like, some responsibility of just managing some channels, but I didn't even have this type of influence for 15, 20 years until I got into the front office. Like, I was just a talking head in the chat room. That was it. So now you guys got influence, and I think this is something that we want to continue, because now we might have some other committees that we can work on. And now it becomes a community. It's not just about the three guys in the front office and making up rules for everybody. It's about the community that we have is working together, and everybody has roles and responsibility, and you guys take ownership to it. And I feel like that's the best thing that we can do. So this was an idea that 55 had mentioned it when I brought it up at one point. 55 had mentioned it, that this is the way 55 got into potentially being in the front office. He was part of a trade committee on 220 back in the day where he wasn't in the front office yet, but he was part of the trade committee. And I'm pretty sure stuff like that, people looking at you and they realize, oh, this dude got, front office, desires, or he would be a good fit, whatever it is, just like real life. So anyway, that's it, man. I think I talked about all the new stuff. We might drop 1 or 2 more new things on y'all. We don't want to do too much and make it like, too crazy from what we've been doing, because what we've been doing is working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So this was kind of a combination of, this whole video was a combination of, I didn't even get to the interview, we'll leave that alone, of me showing you what I did wrong, giving myself a punishment, at least a minimum 2-game punishment, probably suspension for Vita, showing you what I did, my changes, going through my team real quick, making some changes while I'm doing it, and then also giving you a little bit of what's happened in the league. So, that's enough. I've rambled long enough. Hope if anybody gets to the end of this video, you guys deserve a like, not even me. So, we're just keeping moving. All right. Hope you guys enjoy season 3. Hopefully we can get some more just ideas and just having fun and guys chopping it up. And we do have a lot of new members too. I didn't even talk about the new members that came in from different places, man, from different leagues. Got one guy's an administrator in a league. One guy, people coming from the Game Plan Discord. If you don't know what that is, talk to me about it. It's very similar to the SimLair channel that I put in this league. SimLair, that's another thing to talk about. We got a lot of stuff going on, and we got recommendations of people coming in. We actually have a waiting list of people waiting to jump on into 221. So, man, let's just keep it going, fellas. And working well with 220. Everybody's working together. Everybody's having a good time. And these two leagues coming together, building a nice little community. All right, this is what we need. Talk to y'all later, man. Peace.